Yeah.
شو أدري شو اسمه.
Relax. Leave it. I don't have any time. So if there is any clot in the brain on one side, let it be if there is any clot on your left side, the right side the muscles will get paralyzed. That is what generally in paralysis. There are a lot of things. I don't know how much you are going to get. So now let it be there is a paralysis on one side. Hemi means half side of the body is getting. Generally if there is a brain affected, in case of strokes, one side is affected, the opposite side will get affected. Motor. It's not only the motor, even sensation will be affected. Even sensation will be affected. Once if your motor and sensation is affected, there will be a problem in your posture, your balance, everything will get affected. If your muscles are paralyzed, if your sensation is not there, can you walk? No. Can you sit? So it all depends upon your muscle paralysis, the amount of severity of your muscle paralysis. Now in that first class, can you sit there? Someone can press there. Now generally in last class, we have seen positioning for stroke patient. How to position. How to position in supine lying, how to position in side lying, onto the affected side, onto the unaffected side. In today's class, we will see about deep vein thrombosis, and we have seen some chest therapy and all those things finished. What do you mean by deep vein thrombosis? See here, in the leg, there are some deep veins. You know, superficial veins. Can you see here, superficial veins? Like that, there will be some deep vein. Vein is what? Impure blood. So now if there is no muscle movement, muscle is paralyzed, no circulation. So what will happen? Blood will be stored here. Now, if you keep some food, everything stored for a long time, what will happen? What will happen? It will come back. Similarly will happen to your blood here. It is not moving, it is only in one place. No movement, so it will get bad. So that is called. So what will happen? Slowly clotting. Blood will go for clotting. If that clot, if it is dislodged, if that clot comes to the lung or heart, it will block and again it's a death. Immediate death. We will call that as pulmonary embolism. What is that? Pulmonary embolism. So what do you mean by pulmonary embolism? So now let it be. See here. Okay, close your mouth. This is the blood vessel. Can you able to see this? This is the blood vessel. Here is the clot. Here is the clot. Now, if this clot attached here, if it moves, it will come to the circulation. Now, if you do any movement, what will happen? This clot will go to the lungs. In the lungs, okay, it will close the lungs, so it may cause pulmonary embolism. Pulmonary embolism. Pulmonary embolism causes death, sudden death. Okay, so you must be very careful with this deep vein. So you want to prevent this deep vein thrombosis. How will you prevent that? What is the first one? Using pressure stockings like this, but it has to be up to here. Especially this cuff is very important. Okay, this is like heart for us, lateral hearts. Pumping of blood is very important, calf muscle. So you want to put stockings up to here. That is what the pressure stockings. Next is what? Elevation of. You want pillars? Can you get pillars? First. Pillar. Can you pillar this? So you want to elevate the extremity. Okay. So next is what? Elevation of extremity. Come on. Next is what? You came here and again talking. No need of little sense for you. Next is what? Passive. No time I am having. I want to complete. You are coming late. At what time I told? What to talk about? Next is what? Passive movement. Passive movement of ankle. See, this is very important here. Don't stretch. Don't stretch. Don't stretch. If you stretch, what will happen? Clot will go to lung. You will die. You understood? Yes. So when you are treating a stroke patient, do movement, passive movement very slowly. Don't stretch. Stretch, blood clot will go to the lungs and causes pulmonary embolism and die. So always you have to do very slow, gentle movements, passive movements, or if patient is able to do, ask him to do some assisted movements. Try to do it. Up.
طبعا هذه اذا كانت كثير طهر رجلك
or active movement.
ما تسوي لها ستريتش.
Deep vein thrombosis.
ويموت.
Deep vein thrombosis. Deep vein thrombosis, clot will go and cause pulmonary embolism and death. So to prevent that, you must use some passive. So these are all the things. First is what? Pressure stocking, like this, up to here. Pressure stocking, putting up to here. Next is what? Elevation. Come on, press. What for you are sitting there? Next is what? Active and passive, assisted or active movements. Okay, it all depends. Okay. Next is what? Strategies to improve sensation. Okay, now how will you improve sensation? Because he is having loss of sensation. How will you improve? Patient is having loss of sensation. No sensation. How will you improve? What? No sensation, muscle is paralyzed. How will you do that? Okay, one is passive movement. Moreover that, can you see the orientation about his affected side in case of unilateral neglect? I told you in the clinical training. What do you mean by unilateral neglect? Neglect means if a stroke patient, very common, okay, he will neglect his affected side. If my right side is affected, it will be neglect. Means hand will be like this. If I ask him, where is your right hand? He will search like this. Where is my right hand? You don't know what is this. So always he will be like this. So what you will do here, you have to get the orientation about his hand. What you have to do? Change the environment. Can you press down? Like this. Okay? So, can you see this side? Affected side. Door, chair, all the things are on affected side. Understood? Yes. So, keep everything on. See, you people are sitting on his side. So, if you are here, he will obviously turn to this side. So, he will get orientation about his affected side. Okay? So, now, if I am here, he is already neglect, then again he will be on this side only. Understood? So keep the environment on the affected side. That is the first one. Make the environment. Environment means phone, television, TV, everything should be on the affected side. Okay? Can you go little up? Next, apply different sensations. Apply different sensations. What are the different sensations? You can apply some stroking. Okay, for stroking we need some camel brush. You can go apply some stroking. Next is what? Pressure. How will you give pressure? Okay, this pressure. Next, temperature on the affected side. Take some cube or some water, give some hot, next cold, as you know, make him to feel some temperature, variation in the temperature. Next, weight bearing on affected upper limb and lower limb with a proper support to improve proprioceptive sensation. Now next important thing here is, in improving the sensation, weight bearing. So weight bearing on affected upper extremity and lower extremity. How will you do this? Now, can you please get it? So here, there is one splint. Okay, that we will see in shoulder subluxation. Can you move little left side? So here always this is an affected side. Generally, if you go out to the hospital, if you see the stroke patient, he will be leaning to the affected side, dropping this or like that, holding like this. Okay? So what you have to do here is, and it will be paralyzed. So what you want to do here is correct the posture, get the hand, give support to the shoulder and elbow, and get the weight bearing, and get the weight bearing. This is what weight bearing. Now what I am doing here is I am giving support to the shoulder support, and I am supporting the elbow. If I am not supporting the elbow, it will go like this. So either with the other hand you can give like this, or with the same hand you can give it. Because there is no muscle. So no muscle, if you want to have some, so this will give some orientation about the upper extremity. How will you get for lower extremity? Lower. Keep something or get the patient down, lower the patient down, couch or something, or keep something, like a small table or something, so that his foot is placed neutral to get some weight bearing. Okay? Next. Now what is this? Now here. There are two types of sensations. This is what? Superficial sensation. Deep sensation. Deep means what? Now, can you please close your eyes? Okay? Now, you see here. You see me. I will do movement here. You do the same movement with the other hand. Okay? Okay? Now please close your eyes. Do the same movement with the other hand. How he is doing this?
Feeling
coordination.
This is about the deep sensations. In the joint there are some sensors called proprioceptors, which are very important for joint position and joint movement. Understood? Two things. Even your muscles are very important. If you want to know the movement or you want to know the position of the joint, now close your eyes. Now, okay, you please see. I will put something in one position, you keep the same position. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, so you just positioning it. Movement means while I am doing movement, he is also doing. So these are called proprioceptive. Now, if there is something sensation loss, you can improve the muscle strength and you can improve the sensation of that limb by giving some proprioceptive sensation. How will you get proprioceptive? Only by weight bearing. Always in your stroke patient, if you are going to stroke patient, always make the patient to go for weight bearing. Even if it is like this, correct him and position him. Understood? Always weight bearing. Okay, weight bearing means not need mention. Just do the movement, align it, okay, and get the weight bearing. So now, can you feel some load? That load itself is a proprioceptor. So your muscles will get stimulated. Similarly for lower limbs. If you want to have a more lower limb activity, I will show you how to get that. We will see in next. How to prevent shoulder subluxation? What do you mean by shoulder subluxation? Shoulder subluxation. Cut and take 1 second. Shoulder subluxation. See, how to prevent pressure sores, how to prevent deep vein thrombosis, how you are going to orient the patient for sensation, and next one is what? Prevention of shoulder subluxation. Why shoulder subluxation is coming? Why? Why shoulder subluxation? Why? You know ortho?
Yes,
Why shoulder subluxation?
because shoulder,
Stop. It's not relaxation. You are telling
shoulder, the wedding.
Here the muscles inner around the joint are paralyzed. See, shoulder muscle is having very weak ligaments and capsule. Okay? So, majority of your shoulder depends upon muscular force. If there is no muscular force, can you tell me what are the muscles around the shoulder? Rotator cuff. What are the muscles? Name of the muscles? Subscapularis, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor. If these four muscles are paralyzed, your shoulder will be subluxate. Your shoulder will be subluxate. Okay. Now, how to prevent this shoulder subluxation? What is the first one? Proper support should be given to the affected shoulder in different position. Now, if a person is in sitting position, give support. Okay?
Yes.
Understood? Give proper support for the shoulder always. That is the first one. So this is how you can give the support. Or there is next one is what? Careful handling of the patient's shoulder while shifting the patient from one position to the other position. Now, what I am doing here is simple thing. Now I am making this patient to go for standing. Now this is paralyzed. Keep it like paralyzed. Can you come little forward? Come little. Yeah. I think that will be better for you. Okay. We will move off for some time. Okay. Now I am not giving any support. This is paralyzed. Okay. Now I am making this patient to go for. What will happen to this hand? It will go like this. So subluxate. Now what I have to do here is, while I am changing from one position to the other position, I have to give proper support to the shoulder. Okay? Always. Otherwise, it will go for subluxation. Okay? Sit. Next is what? Slings to support the shoulder. Next is what? Sling. Can you see there? One sling. Here for patient, sling. That is what? Babad cuff. Come here. Stand here. Stand. Help me. Stand there. Stand there. Stand there. Help me. Okay? Be there. Next is what? Babad cuff. I will show you how you will do it in a practical lab. I will give mark on that. Okay? It's not playground. Even I can play. You understood? It's not the playground. Okay? I am giving respect, take respect. If you are not giving respect, then I know how to do. You understood?
Yes.
Yeah. Next is what? Babad cuff. We are not coming here for summa, for playing. I know what to do. You understood? It's not playground.
No blame.
You are playing. What now? Behave yourself. I am giving utter respect for you. Try to maintain it. If you are not maintaining it, I know what to do. Next is what? Babad cuff. So that is what is sling. Okay? That is the sling which we will use for support the shoulder. Next. And next one is what? Electrical stimulation. Which muscles you will give electrical stimulation? For shoulder support, what are the muscles? Rotator cuff muscles. So you will stimulate supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, all those muscles, electrical stimulation. So now tell me what are all the things you will do to prevent your shoulder subluxation? First one, support the shoulder. Next, splint. Next,
Electrical stimulation.
electrical stimulation. So in your exam we will ask you how you will prevent the shoulder subluxation. You have to tell and you have to show me how to support well. Now at least one example. Okay? Next Next is strategies to improve mobility. You go. You come. Come. Be a model. Make it fast. Come forward. Fast. Keep all your mobiles, spreads,
Improve mobility.
everything. Remove. Now I want your help. Come on, make it fast. Can you move this? Later. Now here, strategies to improve the mobility. It is not there clearly in your slides. Take the video properly. Okay? Now, please slide on. Yeah, can you see there segmental rolling? First one is what? Segmental rolling. So how will you? No, you be lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Down. No. Down. So what do you mean by segmental rolling? Segment means this is lower segment, this is upper segment. Okay? This is lower segment, that is upper segment. So this patient will have a problem in mobility. Why? Because there is no muscle power, he can't mobile. So how will you initiate that? How will you initiate that? First one is hold. So now, see, if this is the affected hand, class, the thumb should come out. You understood?
Yes.
The affected hand, thumb should come out. It should not go inside. It should come out. Okay? If it is going inside, then it's a problem. So always make the patient to clasp like this and like that. Okay? Understood?
Yes.
Okay, now after holding like this, now this is the affected side. Now I am doing rotation for upper segment. Upper segment. So I will support and I will do for rolling. This is for upper segment. Upper segment. So you can stand by the end or you can stand here, but give proper support. See, always support the shoulder. If you are not supporting the shoulder, subluxation. It will be very painful. So always support the shoulder and do the rolling. So now in this, you must be in a walk standing position. If you are like this, you can't. So always go for walk standing so that you can do rolling in a better way. Okay? So this is segmental rolling for upper limb. Okay? Now how to do it for lower limb? Bend both knees, fix the upper trunk and move it on both sides. Okay? This looks very simple, but this is, see, if I am not supporting here, this whole body will rotate. So support here and roll. Okay? So that is what, where you went. Segmental rolling. Okay? Now, next one is dissociation of upper trunk with lower trunk. What do you mean by dissociation? Dissociation means if one is moving the other side. See, now if I want to take something, I will go like that. My upper trunk, lower trunk is here, but I am moving my upper trunk. This is what dissociation. If no dissociation means, you know robot, it will go like this. But you are not doing like that. You can go like that. How? There is a dissociation between lower and upper trunk. Okay? So now how to create this? Now go for class. Okay? So outer thumb should be out. Now you want to give dissociation. Dissociation means if I am moving the opposite. Okay? Now hold there. support the shoulder of affected side, especially the affected side. If you are moving on to that side, no problem. Okay? If you are moving to this side, support it. Okay? So this is what? Dissociation. Dissociation of upper and lower trunk. So now we are dealing with trunk mobility. How to improve trunk mobility. So we have seen segmental rolling separately and we have seen dissociation. Dissociation. Okay? Next. Go for next. Can you move. No, little up. Go up. Yeah, now come down. Down. Yeah. After this, in trunk mobilization, see, you know the stages of stroke, how the recovery will happen? Recovery. It is not dealt in your theory. Okay. Now, first, if brain affected, first is flaccidity. Flaccidity means no power, nothing. Okay? Tone will be no. But after some time, once if recovery starts, slowly tone will increase and it will go for more tone. That is called spasticity. That is what? Spasticity. Now, similarly, after 3 weeks, these muscles will go for tight. So, patient will go for like this because of tightness in the muscles. Now, how to do that? We need to elongation of, what is that? Elongation of trunk. So, elongation of trunk. Okay, bend this. See where they have supported? They have supported the shoulder from the pelvis. You know this pelvis? Okay, stretch it. Keep the hand and stretch it. So that can you feel that stretch here? Okay, hold here. Can you feel the stretch? Yes. Okay. So this is to elongate the trunk. Elongate the trunk. You have to do it on both sides. Okay? So that is about elongation of trunk. Next one is what? Scapular mobilization. Now, can you come little down? Now here, next important thing, next important thing here is scapular mobilization. Hold the scapula. Can you please come? Okay, now I am doing it for his scapula. See, you know this? Okay? Your palm, your V shape, this will come to your inferior angle of scapula. Okay? You come now, south. Come here. Now show me his inferior angle of scapula. This one. Hold this. Keep your fingers. Relax. Just move it. Relax. I will show you how to do. Now you just hold here. Okay? Now just move it. This is what? It's not. No. Now if you do that, that's on skin. No need of that much pressure. See. You just see my movement. Okay? Yeah. Hold. Yeah. See his shoulder. If you do harsh, skin will move. You have to move it. See? Okay? Understood? This is what scapular mobilization. So now how you have to be here? Hold the hand. Okay? Put your same like that. You tell me now how you are moving. Relax. Relax your hand. Okay? Now. Okay? Can you see the movement? This is scapular movement. Coming out inside. Up, down. Elevation, depression, abduction, not protraction. Scapula don't have protraction. Shoulder will have protraction. Scapula will have abduction, adduction. Okay? Understood? So these are the scapular movements or scapular mobilization you can do. Okay? Off. Can you move up? Now. Rolling of a patient to the affected side, rolling of a patient to the unaffected side. Which side will be easy for the patient?
Unaffected.
Huh? Now now his right side is affected. His right side is affected. Okay? Now, which side it is easy for him to move? Roll. Huh?
Affected.
Be clear. This is right is affected. Okay? Which side movement towards roll? Rolling towards which side is easy?
Affected.
Towards the right side, because his left is good. So no need to give any support. So he is right. Now can you turn? Can you turn? Okay? Can you lift this leg and turn? Roll. Roll to this side. Yeah. This is rolling, pakka rolling. What do you mean by, what is the difference between rolling and turning? Rolling and turning.
Rolling.
Come here. Make it first. Be there. So now, okay? Can you come little close? Okay? Now just return. No. Yeah, do. Roll. Come on, do. What will happen? If you roll, he will fall down. You understood? If it is big bed, no problem. If it is small bed, if he rolls, what will happen? He will come down. Then we need one more thing called turning. That is what turning. Turning means, now generally close your eyes. Now can you roll? Just roll. Yeah. So he will come down. He will fall. Now we need one more thing called turning here. Turning. Turning is what? Come this side. Okay. Now this is what? Turning. Rolling means what? Completely coming down. That will be good if bed is very large. But if patient is not having very big, if you train him for rolling, if he is the end of the couch, if he rolls, he will fall. Okay? But initially rolling is good because in the hospital bed is very huge, big. So you can train for roll. But for your treatment, you must know the difference between rolling and turning. Now rolling onto the affected side, no problem. Can you see there? So but what you have to do here is, make the patient to do this. Can you please support the extremity, support that extremity coming to that side. Now comes here the problem with rolling to the unaffected side or normal side. So now make the person to clasp, help him to cross the leg and give some assistance and give some support for the shoulder and try to make him to go for rolling. Okay? Now, first you have to start with some assistance. Okay? Now, can you get the pillow? Okay? Now, okay, keep some pillow from small distance. Roll, go back, roll, go back. Okay? Now reduce little height. Now roll, back. Now reduce little height. Now from there again roll. So you are increasing the first easy, then going lower, more complicated. Now, what muscles we need it for this? What muscles we need for roll? Tell me. What front muscle?
That's Mr.
Huh? No, not transverse. Oblique muscles. Your abdominal oblique muscles and your extensor, hip extensors. Hip extensors. Very important. So without these muscles, no rolling, no turning, nothing.
Oblique muscle and
Oblique muscles and your
extent.
hip extensors. Okay? Now, so this is about rolling. Next, go fast. What is the time now? Yeah, okay. Rest of the things we will see at 1 o'clock.
Start 1 o'clock.
Huh?
تسيب المثلث في حرف تسيب المثلث في حرف ها
So in morning what we have seen?
ها
So if you don't talk, I will finish fast so you can go fast. Please. So morning we have seen, okay, mobilization for trunk, upper trunk mobilization, lower trunk, dissociation, okay, and scapular mobilization. Now we will see upper trunk means upper limb mobilization. Upper limb mobilization. You know how to do scapular mobilization. Morning I have done scapular mobilization. Okay. So we will hold like this. Okay. Place the hand over the scapula and just move the scapula. Okay. Up is elevation, depression, abduction, adduction. Can you feel that? Abduction, adduction, elevation, depression. Okay? This is for scapular mobilization. Next, you know this position, arm cradle position. What is this position? Cradle position. Arm cradle position. So now as the patient, what about thumb? Out. Very good. Now here, ask the patient to do the movement till 90 degrees. Till 90 degrees. Please go. 90 degrees, you make the patient to do the movement. Okay? For 90 degrees. Why? Why not more than that? Why not more than that?
It's difficult to do. It's difficult to roll over.
Why? Why it is difficult? Now, anyone can come. No, let you come. Come first, come first. So now check here. Now, he can lift. Can you see the scapula? Yes. Scapula moving. What is this rhythm? What do you call this? Scapulohumeral rhythm. If no muscle, paralysis. Okay? If no paralysis, muscles paralyzed, then, no, see, scapula is like that. If I do movement, okay? Do you feel some pain? Shoulder? Not now? Now? Oh, relax. Okay? So if no scapular movement, if I am not doing any scapular movement, only this will cause structures to get effect. So shoulder pain will come. Okay? So always in acute stage, now we are seeing the treatment for acute stage. Sit. Okay? Acute stage, because there is no muscle power, make the patient to do, can you do that? Arm cradle? No, outside. This is the affected side. Ask the patient to do some range of motion. Okay? Till 90 degrees. Till 90 degrees. Okay? Can you go down? So this is what. You can do it the patient in sitting also. You can ask the patient to do in sitting. Now, what to do in sitting? Can you please come to here? Come here. See, for upper extremity mobilization, we have finished scapular mobilization. We have finished Scapular mobilization. Next one is what? Tabletop positioning. Tabletop positioning. You stand. Okay? Sit. Okay? Now, let it be, this is the affected one. Keeping like this. Now, what is the movement in the shoulder now? Shoulder?
Fixed.
Now, I will show you one thing. Can you please come? Sit here. Okay, wait. Sit. Now, just sit. Okay? Now, let it be. Okay, now, see if once I get my extremity, what happens to the trunk? Okay? What happens to the trunk? Straight. It will become straight. Okay, now for him also, if your limbs are like this, your trunk will be drooped. Okay? So, and there is no movement. Once if you keep it on some surface, what is this? Now what is the shoulder is in which position? Flexion. Shoulder is in flexion position. Now, can you move front and back? Move front back. Move just your body. Now what is happening here? What movement you are getting? What is the movement you are getting? Hurry. See, come back. Shoulder in this position now. Let it be 90 degrees. Now move forward. It is going up. Shoulder is going up. So, without activity you are doing it. So, you are improving the shoulder range of motion. That is what tabletop positioning. Tabletop positioning. Now, this is the affected one. Now I am turning. I am keeping this hand. Now what is the position? Okay. Now just move your body. Just move your body. Move your body. Now what it is going? It is going for abduction. Okay. So you are facilitating the muscles for and improving the range of motion for abduction. That is what tabletop positioning. Tabletop positioning. Next one is, can I have some towel? Can you give some towel? Now to get some shoulder range of motion, take the both hands. Okay. Now move this hand. This hand. Move with this hand. Towel. Okay. So this is what tabletop polishing. Tabletop polishing means cleaning. Okay. This is also, see what is happening here now. Shoulder range of motion. Shoulder range of motion. So that is what tabletop positioning and tabletop polishing. So polishing is with the towel. Tabletop positioning is just positioning, moving the body for flexion and inside for abduction. Okay. So these are some activities you can do in acute stage for upper trunk, upper extremity mobilization. Next we will see for lower trunk. Come here. Down. Very fast. Go down. Yeah. Little left. Yeah. So now we are seeing some lower trunk mobilization exercises. Okay. So this is flaccid one. You want to do the movement passively. If patient is able to do, I may ask him to do the movement. So what you are doing here, you are making the affected leg to go for flexion, hip and knee flexion. Can you come little towards my side? Okay. Now, what is this movement? Extension of hip. Then again, flexion of hip. Now, this is very important activity. Why? Now, if I am walking, if I want to lift, what I will do?
Extension.
Flexion, then extension. The same movement you are doing here. Okay? So here you are doing the same movement, getting down and getting it up. Okay, so this is one lower extremity mobilization exercise. Next. Next is what? Yeah, little. Up. Yeah. So, after this. Yeah. So now what you are doing here is control knee extension through range. Control knee extension through range. Can you move little inside? Move little. Control knee extension means you are going to bend. Can you push my hand? Again bend. Push. Okay, this is what control knee extension through range. Can you see here arrow mark? Bending. This is very important. Why? Because once if you make the patient to stand, he needs extension. If no extension, he will fall like that.
I can do this passively, sir.
No, you want to encourage the patient to do it. Passively, if you do, no need. What is the use of doing it passively? It is what control of knee extension through range. So you want to keep it in one range. Ask him to push my hand, again bend, push my hand, again bend. If he is not doing, then you just assist. Don't do passively. This is not the movements to do it passively. All actively. Even this movement, you have to assist. Give assistance. Don't do passively. If you do passively, after so many years also patient will be in bed only. He won't, he won't rehabilitate. Next. If you have any doubt, kindly please ask me. Next. Little before. You are going so fast. Yeah, little.
Hip control.
Okay. So hip control with the foot on the bed. So it is just a simple thing. See, now he is having good muscle. So he is balancing. If no muscles, if it is weak, what will happen? It will fall like this, or it will fall like this. Now what you want to get here is, you want to improve some hip control. You want to give some hip control. Can you see that? Okay, with foot on the bed. This is very important. Next, hip control with the hip in extension. Hip control with hip in extension. How can you do that? Hip extension. Now, can you lift your pelvis up? Yes. Now control. That's all. Okay? Next one is what? Isolated knee extension. Isolated means only knee extension. So for here, can you move a little up? No. Yeah. Okay. So keep your thigh, or you can keep your this thing. Okay. Now, can you press your knee down? Up, down. Okay. Now, if a person with a stroke patient, what they will do here is, they will keep like this and they will push here. You understand what I am telling? Yes. You can feel the stroke patient, they will push like this. Okay? So, if you don't want to push, ask the patient, please do movement only here. No pressure here. Can you see? Comes out. Now keep your hand here. Okay? Ask him to do the movement. Do the movement here. Only movement. No pressure there. Can you feel any movement there now? Any pressure? Very minimal. But stroke patient, they will push you like this. Okay? Now, what will happen here is, if you make the patient, stroke patient to stand, they will stand like this. Because they are pushing it. So if you want to have a good flexion and extension control, practice this. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Next. That is what isolated knee extension. Next, very important is bridging. Very important is bridging. Whatever. Leave. Bend your legs. Now, relax. Now lift this pelvis up, both. Now what is this movement? Please tell me. Hip extension, then? Then what are the other movements?
Knee flexion.
Yeah, knee flexion, hip extension. Yeah, front. Good. So can you tell me what are all the muscles we need for this?
Abdominal.
Yeah, very good. Abdominal.
Oblique.
And?
Oblique.
Not oblique. Oblique little.
Hip extension.
Hip extensors. Very important. See, if you want to stand like this, we need extensors and abdominals. If no abdominals, no extensors, you will go like this. Understood? Yeah. If possible, if in the hospital, if there is any case, I will show you what is the importance of hip extensors. Now, for this patient, if you want to make him even, you don't know, you are sitting now, even for sitting you need abdominals and hip extensors. If that is not there, you will go like this. Because without your knowledge, they are working. Now, for the patient also, you want to work for that. Okay, so first one is bridging. Okay, lift. Ask him to hold for some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Then again lift and hold. Now, what is the next progression? Progression for this. Lift. Can you please lift? Now do the tilt. Yes. Down that side, up this side. This is, see, if you want to roll to the other side, you need tilt. Now you need this rotation of pelvis. So you are practicing that. Now, I am walking. See, I am walking like this. Now I need rotation or not? I need rotation if I want to do this. Okay? Rotation of my pelvis. So you are doing all these things here. Can you please lift? Now do the rotation. Yeah. If patient is not doing, assist him. But in Saudi Arabia, touching there, it's very horrible. So I am not touching. If you are not touching, definitely patient won't improve. Understood?
Yes.
If you want something, if you want to rehabilitate the patient, you must touch. Because this is what? Facilitation. Okay? Yeah. Next is what? Next progression is, okay, let it be, this is the affected one. The unaffected or less affected, you are lifting. Can you lift the pelvis up? Can you feel more work?
تحس بشغل كثير يعني أكثر.
Okay, please. Now lift. Okay. Now lift. More work? Yes. So this is a progression for bridging. Okay? Understood?
Yes.
And lift. Okay? Now I will do one more thing.
There is no ball right.
See, this you can do lot. You can do lot for this bridging. Lift. More, because ball is moving, he has to balance, more muscle work. Okay, if you want more, bend down. Lift. Okay? See? More muscle work. No need of this much big ball, little small ball moving. More balance, more muscle work. Okay? That is what we have to do with these patients. Now, stop.
يا رب.
I think this was enough. Now, next we will go for. So we have finished the acute. Now we are going for subacute and chronic. We will go little fast.